in South America, when we're down there, there's a car that's been on my list forever. And the very first time I see one of these cars on the internet, I stared at it for like an hour. I kept going back to it thinking it was a made-up image, because why don't I know about this car? Why doesn't the world know about this car? It's a Porsche Volkswagen thing, but why don't we know about it? It's ridiculous that we don't know about it. We should all know about it. But it's a car that they made in Latin America, Volkswagen, never sold it in the rest of the world. If they sold it in Europe, they would have sold it by the bucket load. There'd be car clubs dedicated to it. We'd all be going crazy for it. And look it up. It's called the VW. There's two versions, SP1 or SP2. And so I'm going down there. It's a tick box in my life. If I don't do one, I failed. So I'm going down to Latin America to do one of them.
So that's all the research that you're then putting together. Correct. To understand how to put this show together and why you're going to the places that you chose.
All I'm talking about at the moment is territory and car. There's a lot more to it than that, because we haven't got a car show unless we've got a car that fundamentally has got things wrong with it. Our car show, it's like Matt Armstrong has to buy a car that's smashed up. Otherwise, he hasn't got a show. If he goes out and buys a Lamborghini Hurricane that's beautiful, goodbye, see you next week. What's the point in watching Matt Armstrong? There isn't one. So like wheeler dealers and like everyone else out there in the world is trying to do, look at that, look at wheeler dealers is basically, I need to buy stuff that's broken and fix it, otherwise we ain't got a show. So fundamentally, then I go, okay, so let's go down and buy an SP1 or an SP2 Volkswagen. What are the common problems with these cars? It could be the steering, could be the VW flat four engine, it could be the gearbox, it could be anything. But we can research the problems with those cars and set about finding the car with those problems that we could buy. So I got the opportunity to fix them and show the audience and educate the audience how to put those cars back on the road and make a profit out of it.
Are you starting that process with a budget, or are you doing that process and asking for a budget?
No, we start it with a budget. So we're given a set amount of money from Discovery Channel to go and make the show. And the truth is that some shows will be cheaper to make and some shows will be way over budget to make. But we've been given a set amount of money. So it's our job to balance that over the course of the series and hopefully end up with a, zero balance. After 10 shows, we want to make sure that we delivered 10 shows and the account says 0.00. 0.00. That's right. And they've got their shows and we've spent all the money. It's all on screen.
What's been the easiest year? What's been the toughest year of working within that budget?
Oh, blimey. We've had years. We did have a year, actually, where everything was just perfect. I can't remember what season it was, probably season 16, where every car that we bought just went through the workshop, lovely, parts were available, we could get things painted, we just worked really hard. We'd sort of got to the peak of our suppliers, all the suppliers we were using, this is pre-COVID, everything was just beautiful, everything was easy to do, all the cars came in the workshop. Automatic, it became automatic. And then after COVID, suppliers have disappeared, painters have disappeared, members of camera crew have disappeared, staff have disappeared. So it's been a little bit more of a challenge after COVID to try and put it back together. And that then manifests itself and you might have to pay more. You might have to give a cameraman an extra, few quid a day, or you might have to, pay a painter, an extra 500 quid to paint a car. Or whatever it is, it manifests itself in more, and that erodes the budget. And of course, like all things in the world of either YouTube or media or television, everyone wants the budget smaller and smaller each year.